Today, we're at COTA.
I started like when I was 13. I laminated these out of carbon fiber and then 3D printed these little inserts.
So this is the gun.
Oh!
Tools in Japan are pretty underrated, to be honest.
And the chief mechanic or crew chief, you know, the stuff we get to experience around the world and places we go and things we do, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, we love it.
So I'm at the Circuit of the Americas right here in Austin, Texas. I'm stoked to be here. A lot of world-renowned teams here, all competing in the WEC, the World Endurance Championship. That's a series of like 8 races that they hold all around the world. I think today is the 6th race. The signature race is, of course, the 24-hour Le Mans, which I'm sure you guys are aware of. The team that invited me out here today is United Autosports. They're racing the only McLaren cars out here today, and it should be pretty cool. I'm really excited. Hopefully we can take you in the garage, meet a few of the technicians in there, see what it's like to actually be a technician that travels worldwide with these teams. Yeah, let's go.
I'm seeing it.
Okay, that was kind of crazy. I walked in and it was kind of crazy, but the garage is fairly empty right now. This is where one car would be. The other McLaren is right here. Right now, you can kind of see these cars are in a stage called Parc Ferme. But today, we've got Ollie, and thank you so much for meeting up with me.
How you doing, buddy? Good?
I'm so good. This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here. So thank you so much for inviting me out here.
I'm glad you could come. So my name's Ollie Busfield, and I'm a #1 mechanic here, and I look after the McLaren. Basically, that role entails looking after all of our mechanical side on this car. So all the changes that we make, stripping down the car, rebuilding the car. Basically, I've got 5 mechanics who sort of work with me. So we have the #1 mechanics. There's one #1 per each of the cars. We have a crew chief. So he's basically like the senior to us. So he looks after all of our parts, the ordering of parts, the liaison. So he's like our chief in charge. He has the overseeing rule of basically over both of the cars. So there's me on this car on the 59, and then on the 95 there's Ben who works on that car.
So I see 2 boxes, one here and then one over there.
Indeed.
You have the same tools in each one?
No, so basically all the tools inside this box, this is a Snap-on toolbox, they're basically all personally owned, and it's fully customized to sort of what's worked for me over the years. So basically I've sort of adapted and trying to make it as easy to use as possible, make it as clean as possible so that when anyone needs anything, they can sort of come to it and find it instead of sort of like trying to scrap around. Organisation for us in motorsport is like key, because when time is like not on your side and pressure's there, we don't want to be sort of scrapping through the toolbox trying to find like one Allen key. So we're trying to make it like super simple to find everything we can. So basically, I love Snap-on. Snap-on's sort of always been like my brand to go to. It's getting really expensive now, but it still doesn't stop me from buying it, unfortunately. So yeah, basically I thought like have all my ratchets laid out here. I've got my torque wrenches. We don't tend to sort of do any like really big fixings, let's say, and nothing's really like rusty and hard to come off. We're always using like the smaller 1/4 inch ratchets, so we've got these like baby little Snap-on ratchets, and also the little bit drivers. Like these bit drivers are super useful for us because everything's really like quite tight and compact to get to, so we need it to be like as dainty as possible.
Looks like you really do like the Snap-on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if it's Snap-on and if it's orange, that's sort of me. That's me sold, basically. So I'll wait for the Mustangs to go by again. There we go, we have some quiet. So yeah, so like, I've sort of been adapting it from last year. We moved into these Snap-on toolboxes. They're great, literally, it's been so robust. And
oh, so you just barely moved into these ones?
yeah, so literally like last year we got these Snap-on boxes.
What did you have before these?
We had a Carlisle, but we needed more, and we needed to basically, it was easier to find these Snap-on boxes in the UK. Because the Carlisle is like an American brand, we struggled to find them, so we basically got these Snap-on ones because the parts are easy to get to. You know, if you're anywhere in the world and you have like a runner fail, we can get it off the van. You know, that's why we went for Snap-on. You know, they're good in the business.
Yeah, I guess I should back up a little bit. So you're from the UK.
Yes, exactly.
And you travel all over the world.
Yeah. So I live in Leeds, which is basically where the workshop's based. That's in the north of Yorkshire. And yeah, so basically I travel in the World Endurance Championship with United. That's the only championship I do with them. It keeps me busy enough. So yeah, we travel everywhere from the start, like from Qatar to here, to Japan, to Bahrain at the end of the year. So it's quite a lot of traveling around, a lot of backwards and forwards. And then there's also a lot of time at the workshop where we're basically re-prepping these cars backwards after every single event. You don't get much time off, but we enjoy it. So,
oh, gotcha. So you have a main shop that you service these cars in?
Yeah, exactly. So our main shop is in Yorkshire, and that's basically where our home of all of our cars, our parts, and that's basically our base that we go back to. So normally in the WEC calendar, everything from the start of the year to Le Mans is all workshop based. So the car comes back from each event. We travel in trucks of all our components, and then here for our flyaway events and sea freight events, we basically finish at Le Mans, come back, we have like a week and a half re-prep, and then we send everything straight onto Sao Paulo. And then basically from that point onwards until Bahrain at the end of the year, our kit is basically staying out here in either air freight or sea freight. So we also have like two amounts of kit. Toolboxes we don't. This is all air freight. Because it's all like quite personal and stuff, we all like to keep it with us at all times. So yeah, we have two amounts of kit. So all of this boarding that you see and all of the garage setup, most of that is duplicated because it's so big and heavy.
So you guys have to reassemble all of these?
Yeah, so basically at the start of the event, we come into an empty garage and we basically assemble all of this. But yeah, like I was saying, because it's so big and heavy and it's consumed into so many boxes, we have two sets of this. They're identically the same. We sea freight one to, so we've basically got one on our way now to Japan, and then this one goes onwards from there.
So it's ready for when you get there?
We're basically alternating the kit so that we don't have to air freight it, because it weighs like the box of this boarding is in excess of like 1.1 tons. It's all pretty heavy. We have these big white boxes, which we could probably take you to afterwards. They're called Quentor Q6s, which is basically like an air pallet box. And that's where all of our main, like our toolboxes, everything that it requires to run the car is basically packed into those. Because it's quite high valuable stuff, we fly all that with us to each of the events. So we have like our main kit that's always flying. So yeah, I was like saying, it's all quite dainty stuff. So we're basically using quarter inch on pretty much everything. There's not that much that's Imperial on this car. There's a few things like NAS bolts, which is like an Aerospace spec bolt. There's a few of those on this car, and that's Imperial, but a lot of it is primarily metric. That's good in a sense, because it means if we had to have metric and Imperial, there would be so many tools to carry, and obviously we're sort of condensed to the size of toolbox we can take with us. I mean, we'd love like a massive like double stack snap-on, but it just doesn't fit, and it's easier to sort of condense it. So everyone has like all sort of condensed kits, let's say, and that's why trying to utilize the space we've got is a real key thing. So like, I made this at the start of the year. It's just basically like a double slider. So I wanted to utilize the space better because I had like a lot of thin extensions. So I thought I'll make this little like top rack, let's say.
That's amazing.
I hadn't seen it done before, and I was sort of like, I quite like the idea.
Yeah.
And then yeah, sort of all foam cut by myself. So on this side, we basically have, this is all like our setup tools we have.
Okay.
So these are basically just punches. They're like normal punches that have been folded on the ends, and what we use these for is for adjusting the suspension, so adjusting the coilovers. So
wow, you have like the whole thing there.
Yeah, so this is a complete assembly of the rear damper on this car. So basically what you can do is you can drag these out, and you see where these punches go into here.
Okay,
basically you can undo it, and then this is how we're adjusting the ride height on the car.
And what are these?
So these are also for the dampers, so these are called packers. They go within the shaft here, like so you can slide them in, and that can adjust the amount of free gap, which basically allows you to limit the amount of travel until it gets to like a hard stop. We tweak around with that, and these are all just color coded. These are actually, I made these myself.
Really?
So these are actually 3D printed, and the little holders, so it's like spring loaded. So you pull it out, and you basically
look at that.
Yeah, so it stops them from like shaking around in transit. These are all different colors for different amount of millimeters. So from like a quick reference, you can look at the damper and say there's one pink and there's one blue. Okay. So you say like, you know how many millimeters are there.
So, I mean, you just brought that from the back. Do you have like a bunch of spare parts in the back?
Yeah, so we used to travel around with all our own spares that we need. So if we break something, we have to have a duplicate of it, and multiple duplicates. So same with like suspension components. So from uprights to dampers to basically all the spare bodywork. So each car has its own spare bodywork. Just over here, you can basically see the whole front assembly. So that's the bumper assembly, which is complete with all the lights, the splitter. It's all one piece. And that actually comes off the car with basically 4 quick latches. And then we use an AS connector. It's like a military sort of spec connector. So yeah, basically we have this big one-piece connector.
It's like a Canon connector.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of like aerospace-y parts on these cars, like with the wiring and stuff. So we undo one connector. It means like in the pit stops, it's like takes like 30 seconds to change. So if we have a bit of damage, we can basically just whip one off, put a new one on, and we're basically out on the road going again.
So you guys basically have a spare car for each car.
Yeah, exactly. So we have one extra part for all the cars. We have, like, so 2 cars. And we also have another spare chassis that's hidden away out the back, just like the front carbon monocell. So we have it split in the middle pretty much. So you have like your engine assembly with your whole rear sub-assembly. And that's split into 2 boxes just for transit purposes, because it's a lot smaller if you can like take it apart. So yeah, we've got like all condensed away a lot of car components. I think they're louder than our cars, if I'm honest. Big old burbling V8s. So yeah, basically we travel around with pretty much 1, if not 2, of every single component on the car.
But even like engine, transmission, everything.
Exactly, yeah. So we have 2 spare gearboxes, we have 2 spare engines, and everything's sort of like tightly compact into boxes, basically. They're all in flight cases, so it's all nicely protected.
So is there ever a point like where you're like rebuilding this car during a race?
Yeah, so like a prime example was like somewhere at Le Mans. Basically, we just built the brand new car, and then we had an incident where we basically went over a curb a bit too hard, and it actually cracked the rear subframe. It's a full aluminium rear subframe, and it cracked it straight through the middle. So basically, after day 1 of arriving there on circuit, we had the car completely stripped into bits. We had to change the whole rear, which is a labour-intensive job. But we've got like the great guys here that everyone knows how to get like mucked into it, and we've got all the spare bits that we need. So it's you always know that we're going to be able to rebuild it. It's more the time element than anything. So obviously, like today with like qualifying, and then we roll straight into the race tomorrow. You're sort of praying that today is going to be a nice, clean, easy day, because you don't want to be having to touch too much tonight. We want to be basically sure that we're all set for the race. Roll that down to the spanners. So mostly all metric, like I was saying before. A few adjustable spanners here and there for all sorts of little jobs. We've got these like cool little, they're really thin spanners, because there's quite a lot of areas on the car where it's really tight to get into. So we need these like super thin spanners. We also have the aluminium AN spanners for all the air equip fittings on it. So all the oil lines, fuel lines, they're all AN lines. We have those aluminium spanners which stop you from actually marking, because they're quite soft material with them being aluminium. So using an aluminium spanner on it basically stops you from like marking them up.
I've never seen like black.
So these are basically everyone in motorsport has snap-on chrome spanners. So I was a bit different and decided to get the uncoated sort of industrial spec spanners.
That's cool.
Only problem is they go rusty because of all the humidity here as well. But I like the look of them, and I've sort of infilled them as well with a bit of orange.
Oh yeah.
So I painted them just so I know they're mine.
These Mac stubbies.
Yeah, the Mac stubbies are really useful to me there. There's like I said, like trying to keep something really small to be able to get access. These little Mac ones they're good. I really like those.
What is this?
So these spanners here, when you're working on these cars, obviously like access is a bit hard to get to on some things. So this is like one tool that we specifically use for just in front camber. So it has like an offset in it to be able to get into the clevis on the camber side. And this is basically just a cut down spanner. Oh. It was originally like this long, and it was a 14 and a 12 ratchet, and we just cut it straight through the middle. And then we've got other things, like same again, like this is like a standard 12mm, but it's like super thin on the end, so it's just ground flat. That's another like one specific job on the car, so we have to make these little tools. Same here, we have like this 1-inch spanner with the sides completely cut off it, just for like one specific job on the car where you need it. We have these little C spanners, so these for undoing the air jack collars that we have. They basically have like these little locking collars, so we have like 2 different sizes of those. Well, these are quite cool. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these. These are again like on the same theme of like super thin, super agile kind of thing. Like these are like a thinned out pair of adjustables. But I really like these. I only got these like last year because I'd seen them on Instagram actually. So like a Japanese guy I follow had them. And yeah, literally once I saw it, I was like, I have to get a pair. An adjuster was always quite like clunky and quite big, so these little Barco ones are, yeah, they're really cool. I like them. 2 screwdrivers, pry bars, Allen keys.
And everything is so organized.
Yeah, I tried to keep it like super organized, like I said before, to basically keep it super simple. People know where stuff is. If it's missing, that's a big thing. Like, you obviously never want to leave a tool in the car or on the car, because that's one big problem. So yeah, trying to lay everything out so it's super simple to see. People can find it quickly. Standard snap-on screwdrivers, the little screwdrivers, and the picks. We've got the little seal picks. We use these quite a bit, to be fair. They're becoming really useful. We have this little flexi with a 7mm, which we use for all the Jubilee clips.
What clips?
A Jubilee clip.
What is that?
So like a hose clamp, basically.
Oh, okay.
So all your water fittings, like air duct fittings, brake ducts, they're all held with these Jubilee clips. So this is like a little flexible ones for getting in areas. So they're used quite a lot. I think you'll find pretty much every person in motorsport has a little Jubilee driver dedicated with a 7mm on it. But yeah, these are like Facon that I was saying about. They're a cool little brand, and I don't have much of their stuff, but the stuff I do have, I really like, and it's a good price value for what it is. So this is like a custom tool just for the McLaren. So this is a clutch alignment tool. When we're refitting the clutch, this basically aligns all the splines back up, exactly the same as the input shaft on the gearbox, but it's cut down, made smaller for transit, because originally it's like this long. That's one of the ones that's out of mileage, pretty much. So I've cut down and then use it in my toolbox for refitting
nice.
the clutches. More little like snap-on picks and stuff, like tyre valves on the water system. It has like a Schrader valve and everything, so that's what I use that mainly for.
The water system?
Yeah. So on top of the header tank, there's a Schrader valve, just like you have on a car tyre, and this allows you to be able to pressurise the system or depressurise the system. We've got like the heel bars for when stuff doesn't want to line up, need a bit more persuasion. Just the stubby Allen keys and standard Allen keys. These little super baby ones. So you wouldn't think we have to use these much, but we really do. And this is the same set. This is like a screwdriver set that goes down to like 0.9 of a mil. So we have like screws that are like 2.5mm or 2mm, and the heads on them are tiny. So like all of our electrical connectors that are on the car have nut plates that hold them in place, and you basically need like 1.5mm Allen keys. And these come from Japan, actually. These
do they?
Yeah, so these ones are from a Japanese tool shop called Astro Products. That's just such a cool shop. If you ever get to go to Japan, I would like 100% recommend it to anyone, because there's like just everything, like one of everything you would ever wish for. I mean, we end up going there. We go there after this event. And we end up buying stuff that you don't really need, but you just think it's cute and like, I'm going to have that.
So Ollie, how long have you been doing this?
I have been working in motorsport now. I started like when I was 13.
So 13?
Yeah, 13, 14. So basically my dad was a team manager back in a team sort of this scale, doing this sort of championship and also working in like rallying and touring cars. So basically one day he sort of took me into his work, and I'm just there like a little kid in awe, like this is amazing, like look at all this like fancy cars. So basically just went to work with him and then sort of got the bug for it. You know, it's always been in the family, like my granddad, he's been into cars and tinkering and stuff and like motorsport. So I sort of followed in his footsteps. And yeah, basically been doing that now, since I was 14 and I'm 28 now. It feels like I'm about 58 because I've been working it so long, but we enjoy it, that's why we keep coming back. United Autosports, so I've been here now, this year comes up to my 8th year. I've been through like many different championships with them, so I started here and we were running an LMP3, which is like a prototype car with a V8 in the back of it. So we initially started in the European Le Mans series. I basically worked my way up from there to then looking after the car like I am now, like a number one. So I started as a number 2, then became a number 1, and then I've sort of progressed onwards from there. Yeah, I've sort of like always done motorsport. That's all I've ever done. Never strived to do anything else other than motorsport. We're back in. That's fine. You can carry on. So yeah, basically like.
Do you need to stop?
We can work around it. That's fine. So now basically we've been released from Parc Ferme, which is basically meaning that we now have access to work on the car tonight. We go through and do all our systems checks, make sure everything's all right for the race tomorrow. So the boys are going to basically jump on and sort of look through the car and check over everything now, and hopefully we'll get a nice early night. So this is basically like all my pliers and other odds and sods and stuff. So we have like everything from like super big Nipex pliers to like the daintiest of Nipex pliers. Anything, I mean, this is quite a cool little intricate thing. You've probably never seen one of these. This is like a cable tie, like basically it torques the cable ties up to a set figure and then cuts them flush. Super niche thing on like these cars is like load of cable ties on everything. So all the wiring looms are all held in with cable ties. Things from like doing like sort of simple wiring fixes, so like some wire strippers, lock wire pliers. It's like an Aerospace tool for using lock wire to basically retain things, basically locking off bolts. So we drill the heads, then we lock wire them to make sure they can't vibrate loose or come loose at any point.
Yeah, I saw it like on the
so like
collar.
This is like, we just do this as like a sanity thing just to make sure that in the race when it's like bumping over the curbs that it's not going to back itself off.
Yeah.
So that just creates like a mechanical lock. We have a little microphone, that's a little random one, so there's me and Matty who you might meet later. We've got a little speaker here that's like a little PA system. So we like to shout things randomly at us and sing along and play karaoke. Little dymo tag for labeling things. There's a lot of parts that we have to label and add like lifing numbers and stuff, so when you're on the fly it's super simple just to print out some labels and stick on part numbers. These little rivet pliers, so these are made for the solid rivets. It's like an aviation tool as well, so for all the fixings on the car and stuff that require rivets.
This McLaren have a lot of rivets in it?
So we have, there's rivets sort of all over it. The rivets are mainly used to hold, they're called anchor nuts. So they're like a retaining nut that has a lot of flow in them. In fact, I can probably show you on this bumper over here.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
See the cow.
I do. There you go. Sorry. Sorry. Basically, these are floating anchor nuts. So this is basically makes it captive. So instead of us having to use like a nut and a bolt, it allows us to have a thread basically in the back of it, and these will get riveted on. So this is where we use our like our rivet squeezers. So
I see that on aviation.
yeah, this is like an aviation thing. So there's a lot of these anchor nuts, and also like live locks and everything.
I see.
They're all over the car. It basically makes it easier for us to take stuff apart because you're not having to worry about having a nut on the back of it. So the more you can make captive by having these anchor nuts, the easier our life is, the less wastage on nuts that are going everywhere. Getting noisy now, but it's fine. Moving onwards, like a general fabrication drawer. So anything from like thread repair, so tap and die set, to like extractors with left-handed drills. That's gonna be loud. Maybe use the other one. This might be a good one for you to look actually there. So although these Milwaukee guns are like really, really powerful, it sort of shows you how strong the wheel guns are that we use on the rig. Basically, we use these air guns that are around like 26, 25 bar. You'll see in a minute, super loud, but they've got like 1,000 Newton meters of torque.
Why?
So, and then obviously with them being, they go on when they're hot, and then when they cool down, it gets even tighter basically. So that's why even that massive Milwaukee gun probably can't shift it. Extractors, we have like carbide bits and stuff. So for like grinding, pencil grinding stuff, like all small intricate stuff, like all the carbon repairs and stuff.
So you have air in the shop too, huh?
Yeah, so there's air up on each side of this gantry. So we have 2 air lines and 2 like electrical reels. So we try to use like cordless on a lot of things because it's just easier. It's not an airline rate chasing around, but for the grinders and stuff, the airs are basically our most used for that.
What are they?
These are little, these are from that Japanese shop I was saying about, the Astro products. So these are like little scrapers that are like flexible. So we use these from like scraping off like rubber or like stickers. Basically, they're like a flexible.
That's cool.
So you can get like contours with them, which is really good, and it stops you from like marking like whatever you're doing. So it's like they're quite soft. I mean, this is like speaking back from them captive nuts. So these are like a little plates that we make. This is like a drilling jig. So in order to fit the anchor nuts, you have to drill 3 holes. So you have to make sure that the hole centers are perfect. So what I do is I make these little plates. So you drill through with your size like 6 mil, and then you know that you've got your 2.3 mil, 2.4 mil holes for your rivets. So they're like a little tool that makes our life quicker and simpler. A select array of snap-on files. Then we have the drivers for the tap and die set. So I've got a big one and a small one. These are ratcheting. So instead of using like your conventional like T-handle, like your normal T-handles, these basically just ratcheting, so you can go forward and backward with them. So when you've got to do like a lot of like thread cleaning or thread repairing, the ratcheting ones are really useful for that.
They use those bottles for air, compressed air?
Basically that's high airflow, I say high airflow, high capacity, high pressure air. So the car actually lifts up on on air jacks, which is like cylinders on each 4 corners.
Okay.
And basically use compressed air, so it's like 30 bar of pressure. Gets put in this lance here that you see. So basically we have the air goes in here, and then that allows the air to come into the system. It's plumbed all the way around it, and then it lifts the car up. It's going to be loud, but you'll be able to see when Scotty comes around now. You'll see, yeah, it's pretty.
That's got a lot of power.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Holy.
So yeah, they're like.
I hope that comes through in the video.
Yeah.
That is so freaking loud.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's good for the fans.
Look at that thing.
So yeah, these are basically, this is exactly the same wheel gun that we use on a rig for the pit stops.
Okay.
Yeah, these are super powerful, super quick. So it's like high power, high torque. So you can basically gun the wheel off in 1 second. It will just shift it straight off, and then also like when it comes back on, it's got so much power that it just guns it straight back on super fast.
Oh.
So it's all about speed. So basically all the mechanics that work on these cars that you see around us now, they all have basically a tray. I can show you here. So like this is my one that's not actually full at the minute because all my tools are still in here. These were like a custom made little project that I wanted to do myself, sort of like make everything a bit easier for everyone. I laminated these out of carbon fiber, and then 3D printed these little inserts to hold all the Loctite bottles that we use for all the thread locking.
So you made this whole thing?
Yeah, so this whole thing's made. It basically originated like, the mold is from a baking tray, which I spent probably like a year and a half trying to find the exact right tray. And it's the exact right tray because it like perfectly fits like a snap-on tool wrench in. So it took me a long time to try and find that.
And so this is actual carbon?
Yeah, so it's a full carbon. Basically it has like a little bit of like strengthening in the bottom to stop it being flexible. And yeah, basically all of our mechanics here have their own tray with all their own stuff in.
So these have like lids.
Yeah, so this was like, I basically gone for like 3 different variations of this carbon tray. So this was like V1, where I had these little flaps on it to try and make it look really like tidy and neat. I think I prefer the more open version because in like a bit of a rush having to open the flaps up. So I basically, I went from V1 to V2, which was completely carbon, to then the V3 that you
just
see
open
here. So yeah, this is like completely open, and basically allows every single one of the mechanics to have all their own little tools with them, and then on an evening we can basically put the tool away, nice and tidy. Everything's kept, and then it all just flies around with us. So.
Do they ever take these out? Like,
yeah. So basically they'll take that to whatever part of the car they're working on, and just try and keep it like super organised because like space is at a premium, and obviously there's a lot of people walking around, a lot of stuff, a lot of guests and stuff. So try and make it like nice and tidy, so that we're not got like mess everywhere. 3D printed these little inserts. I bought a 3D printer last year, or the start of this year, should I say. And so I just thought I'd try and get into like CAD design. This was like actually one of the first things I made.
Is this your?
Yes, this is that's my logo that I made up.
Oh, so this is your business?
Yeah, so this is like sort of like a bit of a business. I've got a little Instagram that just sort of like publish what I do, like what I make and stuff. I've got a little like kit car that I'm making at home. I post on there about what I'm doing and all the little things that I design. The little power draw down here. So basically we have power coming in from the bottom. So when we get to a circuit, we can basically just stick our batteries straight on charge. Super simple, you don't got wires going everywhere.
Okay, yeah. So you have like a whole power strip.
Yeah, so there's like a power rail at the back.
I see.
It's like my own take on Snap-on's power draw.
Gotcha.
So
I see my watch says it's loud decibel.
It's too loud, yeah. You're telling me.
Yeah. And then what are the paints for?
So these are Loctites, a load of different types.
Okay.
So we have like 243, which is what we use on pretty much all of our fixings. It's like an anti-vibration compound that basically locks the bolts in. And then we go from anything from like a pipe sealer, like a thread sealer. And then we have things like this, which is like a glue. We use these for gluing on things like cable tie saddles or stuff. There's a 2-part, so you basically have this and then you have an activator all made by Loctite. It's good stuff. Even something as random as like Vaseline, you would never know. We use Vaseline for all the drink system that's in the car. So for greasing up the O-rings, we use Vaseline because it's like food safe. With it being like the drink system, you don't want like have like any sort of random grease on there. And then just normal.
That dude's just like, sorry, I didn't mean to like.
No, that's fine.
It's like, that guy need help or something?
Yeah, so basically this is the diffuser coming off now.
Yeah.
This gives us more access underneath the car to be able to look over everything, check out all the suspension and stuff.
And it looks like most of your power tools are Milwaukee?
Yeah, so everything we tried to do Milwaukee. It's what I've sort of like the preference. I really like their stuff, to be fair. I've also got the same toolbox at home, like identical pretty much, with like duplicates of the same tools twice. So like, you see all the spanners, all the screwdrivers, all the ratchets, the sockets. I've got basically all of that again. And
wow, so that stays at the shop. That
stays at the shop, yeah. And then this travels with us. So yeah, it's a lot of like expense, I guess. But yeah, both this set and the set at home, I own everything inside there. And then back in this one, testing out the slider. So the bottom, I mean, I think everyone's bottom drawer is not the most tidiest thing in the world. It's one of those where you just try and put all the odds and sods, but got some little pots in the back that hold like squeegees and vinyl stuff and some wiring, bits and bobs, extra mouses for the keyboard. Drill bits sit on the side. Basically got my air blowers, all the hammers, punches and stuff like that. Hacksaws sitting here, and these are our air tools, like our air grinders that I was saying about earlier.
Whoa, so that is tiny.
Yeah, so that's like a little 90-degree one, and then we have like a straight. So we use these for all the carbon fiber parts, so like any sort of like intricate like repairs that we have to do. We have to find like, sometimes you have to grind out some of the bits to make them fit a bit nicer. Okay. We use these carbide bits because it goes through the carbon a lot easier. Sort of like straight grinders. We have like a DA for flattening off any sorts of like imperfections on the bodywork. All the carbon fiber we can sand down to make it super smooth, so we use that. Also like polishing, like something someone probably never think about is that the underside of the floor of a race car is like so aerodynamically driven, let's say, that the better the surface, like a wing of a plane, the more it's polished, the better better performs. So we end up like polishing all the floors and stuff, and
really
trying to make
like
them
that makes a difference in the drag.
Yeah, it makes a little bit of a difference. That like some small little gains. You're trying to get all the little gains you can here and there. So yeah. Oh yeah, we've got the pens drawer, the essential. You need your rulers, all your pens, all the random bolts that you just never want to throw away because they're too good to throw away. But
yeah.
They never really have a home. Yeah. Spare parts.
What is this? Looking sharp.
Looking sharp. It's where all the knives go. So all the spare blades.
Okay.
So basically. So when we pop the blades off for these, we use these for all the vinyl. I just like putting
that's smart.
Yeah, looking sharp. These are like a cool little 3D printed thing that are made. These are basically just for like sanding down areas before we apply cable tie saddles. So basically, because you need to key up the surface so that you have like a good adhesion, we use these little intricate little sanders.
What are these? Sorry.
So these are all my rulers, different ones. Yeah, and then we have like a taper gauge for measuring stuff on the car, just to check like our gaps and our tolerances. So you basically like you can stick this in, and it has all the incrementation on the side. So that's quite a useful one for measuring like the legality. So like with all the floors on the car, everything has to be within a tolerance. So what we'll do is we'll basically fit all the floors on the car, apply like an I-beam. Which is like our flat level plane, and we can use this little gauge to basically work out how out of tolerance we are.
Okay. A couple other things I've seen, like what are the sprayers?
So this is just brake cleaner.
Oh, brake cleaner, okay.
Brake cleaner. We made these little socks to make it like cute, and sort of like hidden away. That's a little idea they had last year, just to sort of like make them all like uniform and nice. It's all about brand image.
And then what's that too?
This little guy. So this. Here in Texas, it appears to be quite warm this weekend.
Like really hot.
This was like a little eBay purchase. It's just a little fan. So just a face fan. Just for like in the session, I can just come here and just sort of.
Does it work pretty good?
It's not bad. It's not bad. So.
Nice. Is that something too?
Yeah. So this is a little 3D printed model that I made. Excuse me. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
And basically, what this does is, what it will do is not in a minute. It attaches to the side. And what it allows us to do is basically the lance head here, which is what we use to put the air in the car. This was basically made so it can pretty much, if I untie it, basically just sits inside it. So that sits on the side and that holds it there. Stops it from like dragging on the floor.
Gotcha.
So this is just like a little thing that I designed and made up.
Oh, that's cool. And is this yours too?
So this is one of our technicians. unfortunately, because we've got the little carbon trays I was going on about, I've run out of drawers. So he basically he's been put on a little trolley at the side. So he's got some other bits and bobs there and stuff. And
that's kind of nice.
All the little like intricate stuff for working on the car. And because it's on the trolley, it's super easy. You can go out the back, go out the front. So if there's stuff to be repairing out the back, he just wheels it out there and off he goes. Same with like the guys with the carbon trays. It's like they've got something to do. They just take it wherever they need. So they're not having to lug like loads of tools around. It's just like take the little tray, super lightweight, and off they go.
Awesome. Man, Ollie. Thank you. I feel like I'm stealing you from your team here.
No, it's all. They all seem to be cracking on nicely.
Yeah, well, Ollie, thank you so much, man.
No worries.
I really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Maddie here has volunteered to help me out. He's going to show us the power of these impacts. Maddie, thank you so much.
All good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm excited. Like, being in there with this gun, the percussion hits you. And I hope that comes through the video. Like, these guns are crazy powerful.
Yeah, so they're quite different to most other wheel guns that you've probably seen. They're all made by Powerly, so they're an Italian company.
Really?
And they're obviously all pneumatics, all air guns. You've got 2 guns per fuel rig, so this whole thing's a fuel rig. So during the race, the fuel goes in the fuel tower. You have a fueler guy, so he'll hold the fuel hose and he'll dump the fuel in the car. That also has a timer up there, so the engineer will tell him how much fuel's going in the car. So as he's dumping it in, it'll tell you how much fuel's going in. You have another guy called a dead man, a funny name, but the dead man is the guy who operates the dead man handle. So it's like a big bull valve that releases all the fuel from the tower, up the hose and into the car. You'll also have a fuel man. So you have a fuel man, a dead man, and a fireman. So hopefully we don't need the fireman, but he's always there with a fire extinguisher. And then working your way onto the wheel guns, you'll have a front gun man and a rear gun man. Now, they both operate these things. This is the rear gun, and you'll see they're on swivel booms. So that's a full carbon swivel boom, so it can go around the entire car. If we actually have a gun failure, which hopefully we never do, the other gun will then service the rear tires. So if he has a rear gun failure, the front gunner will come in, and that's all done by radio. We've had it, but not very often, because we have to service these guns every 6 months. Get like a full rebuild. There's a little rotor inside, there's little carbon fins. I'll probably show you some little parts for them, but you do have to keep quite on top of maintenance-wise.
So you guys do it?
Yeah, so we do the rebuilds. But yeah, like I said to you, these wheel guns have like 14,000 RPM. They're like nothing you've ever seen before. So this one's the rear gun. I'll give you a little blip so you can kind of see, like, they're pretty loud. So this is the gun.
Oh, that's way different than what is it?
Yeah. So you imagine how they hammer the wheels on and off, like it takes a bit of control, and people with strong wrists as well. So.
Yeah. So is that a different gun than what was in there? Or is it the same gun, just less power?
Yeah, so it's the same socket. So it's what's quite unique with the guns. So the socket is made for the wheel nut on the McLaren. So all the teams will use a gun like this, but they'll all be fitted with different sockets. So if you look like up and down the pit lane, you'll see all the same guns, but they'll all be like modified sockets for the cars. It's not like a normal shotgun, you could say, but yeah, they're pretty cool.
It's like an inch airline coming down. My God, I was really like expecting that, but maybe a little bit louder.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
They're pretty cool. So in here, everything's on regulators. So it regulates the air pressure that we give it. You can see the wheel guns, they actually run at 25 bar.
Holy crap!
So we normally run them about 24, something like that. And then the lance line, which is what lifts the car, which I'll show you as well, that's jacked at about 35 bar. So like everything's really high pressure. But we have to keep an eye on how much air they're using. But if you see the size of the air bottles, you see how they last like a whole day. So in here, so you see there's 4 big air bottles. It's a little bit messy because there's like various sensors and things we have to run. But there's 4 big air bottles in there which we'll charge now.
Thank you for showing us.
Yeah.
And so you're a technician here too. Do you have your own set of tools as well?
Yeah.
I'd love to see them if you have time.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, out back, we've got all sorts going on. So this all gets quite busy, but basically everything has to be within arm's reach. as and when we need it.
Okay. So all of this gets flown in as well?
Yeah, everything gets flown in. We either have to air freight things or it comes in a shipping container. So everything's like, space is a premium, but we have to take everything with us. So it's not like we can go out and get something from the shop, or what we bring is what we have. Things like the first box we have is consumables. Is all our nuts and bolts, everything like that. Just the nuts alone. I don't know if you've seen these little things, but these are called K-nuts. They're super light, and they're kind of like a one-use nut. Same with little schnorr washers. They're a little bit different to like broadcast stuff. These are floating anchor nuts. So like on the bodywork, lots of things are like this, so it gives you like better fitment.
Oh yeah. We saw that on the bumper over there. Yeah.
So that kind of thing. So these are quite unusual. And same like with cable ties. I mean, we go through thousands and thousands of cable ties.
These look like special kind of.
Yeah. So these are like
freight type deal.
No, these are like have like metal inside, so they're much stronger.
Really?
Again, it's just usual different sizes. And these little things, we use these for like, if there's like a chance of chafing of like wires on the car, which like with race cars, there's lots of vibration and things like that. So to stop like anything from rubbing through, we'll do like lots of like loom protection, things like that. And this is like one method we'd use. So you'll see a lot of these on the car.
So how long have you been doing this, wrenching on race cars?
I think I'm on like my 8th year.
Really?
Like that, yeah. I was trying to think earlier because I couldn't remember. But yeah, around like 8 years.
Oh my God.
Mostly doing this championship, so doing the World Series, but I've done different things, different cars, different championships. A lot of the job is the same, but like you get to go to different places and things like that.
I just can't fathom all of this being flown in.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably see us all throw in a container. That's quite an interesting thing, but I mean, everything has like a big lid, so these all get loaded up quite intensely, so everything has a place, and everyone kind of has like a department of what they know how it's loaded. Okay. So it's quite a big process of like all this stuff would end up in here, and like how it's packed to how it's presented now is quite different.
So do you have a team that comes in and sets all of this up for you guys?
Sadly not, no.
You don't?
No,
Okay.
it's all us guys as well. So where it differs to something like Formula One, Formula One will have like a setup crew that will go in, build the garage. The race team turns up, they do the race team go, the garage guys tear it all down. Gotcha. We do the whole thing. We build the garage, build the car, we pit stop the car, hopefully win a race, and then we'll throw it all in a container on an air pallet and go to the next one. This box here is probably a good one to start. So this is like what we call our car box. So this always travels with the car. Again, it's like quite close to the car with the consumables. So it's like all the stuff that we quite commonly will use. So like as you get further back, it's like less commonly used stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
So it's like all formatted, but equally like these garages, from event to event they change. So like how the garage is laid out with all this boarding. So you can see like the labeling, I think I said to you earlier, the labeling is intense. Like
everything's labeled.
You have to label everything. Things like the battery chargers for the car. A V-Box is like the camera in the car. So we have a camera system in the car that records all their driver data. The drivers can look back at their runs and things like that. This one is kind of like the mess drawer, if I'm honest. These little things, they're resistance bands, so we'll do like warm-ups for pit stops, stuff like that.
Oh, you're legit like...
Yeah, it's like... So like, because injuries are about like, if one of us gets injured, like, then there's not really so many guys to cover us, so all of us have to stay pretty active, and injuries can be a bit of a pain. Like, it's hard to stay fit and do the job. And
Gotcha. I never would have thought that.
Yeah, so we'll do like warm-ups, stretching before we do stops and stuff. This drawer here, they're out right now, but these are the drink bottles for the car. So the car actually has a drink system in it for the drivers because it's endurance racing. So this is all like foamed out, where we have all the drink bottles in, all the little spares and stuff like that. The drivers also have air conditioning in the car as well.
Do they really?
Yeah, which is an unusual one.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I never would have thought that.
No, a race car. That's like, we call it the Zach pack. The guy who normally has it is called Zach.
Oh,
that's the Zach pack. And then here is like, we'll take this down to scrutineering. It'll have like various little tools in it. We'll take it to the grid before the race as well. So we'll put like a few drinks in it. Tools if something happens on the grid that we're like miles away. We quickly need something, so we'll like pack it out. So that's kind of that. Then we've got springs and dampers. So you'll see we have like a spare set of dampers. These are all different spring options for the car.
Oh, I see. So depending on the
So
setup.
we put in so many, yes.
I see, okay.
So it'll be like, we'll be instructed to put on a set of springs for how the car's reacting. Equally, we have a spare set of dampers. If we need a damper, we'll build a set of dampers for the race. This is quite an interesting draw. So this is, these are called oil bombs. So because the car runs for 24 hours, the cars will use a certain amount of oil.
Oh, okay.
So on the top of the engine, there's a fitting where this will connect to, and these are called AccuSumps. And basically, we'll put in, as you can see, 1 litre of oil. We'll fill it from the top, fill it all in, and then it's a pressurized system. So it has like a little pressure thing here and a gauge. Pump it all up through a set pressure, and then basically this little handle on the end. So it's a pressurized oil canister, and then when the car's in a pit stop, I'll fire it on the top, open the valve, and it shoots 1 litre of oil in the car. They get used in more the longer races. We have a smaller one there as well. This one is just various little tool trays. So if we're working on the car, we'll run out of a little tray, whether it's in the pit lane, in the garage, just to kind of keep everything a bit tidy. Just general jugs and funnels. There's a front end box. I don't know if Ollie showed you that one.
The what?
So instead of on the front end, that's like a big tool tray. So that mounts the front of the car. So that kind of sits on top of there, and you can put things in that. You can also put weight in it as well if we need to simulate a front bumper, and we haven't got a front bumper. Ever have an air jack failure, we also have this big airbag, which we'll throw underneath the car.
Holy crap.
And that will lift a McLaren, yeah. Moving over to this stuff. This is our brake box. Since Le Mans, we did Sao Paulo, we have this race in Austin, we've got Fuji in Japan, and then Bahrain. So we've actually got all of our brakes here for all those races. So to keep everything all inclusive in one box, these are our like brake boxes. So in here, you've got some very nice foam cutted boxes of all the brake sets, things like that. Everything's all labeled up, ready to go. We'll pre-bed some brakes, but all of these you can see how many sets we have. It's, you know.
Are these all the same kind of brakes?
Yeah, they're all the same.
Okay.
Front and rears, all the way down, and then we've even got other sets of pads as well. If we're just going for pads, goes all the way back. Moving on to this stuff. This is kind of all the stuff we have for doing the brake change. So we've got like our bleed bottles in here, syringe. These are little blanks for the brake temperatures. So we'll put these over the grills, these little carbon plates, and they lock into the grill.
Okay.
And it gives us different brake temperatures. So depending on what the engineer asks us to do, we'll fit different shaped brake blanks.
Really? How did these work?
We've also got how we use to push the pistons back.
That's ridiculous.
The big pad spreaders. So in the race in Le Mans, on the front, there'll be one of these guys on each side of the car. They'll look at each other, nod, and press that at the same time. Pushes all the pistons back at once, and then we'll go and fit a set of pads.
Gotcha.
That's
I
what
guess
they're
you couldn't
for.
do one side at a time.
Yeah.
You just push the other side.
Because it'll push it all right up. Yeah, exactly. So it's quite a well-timed thing. Sometimes we have some spare brake bells as well, but that's kind of like all the brakes all in one box. So it's like where we have to do all the repairs, things like that. If we have to change uprights on the car, drive shafts. If there's an engine change going on a gearbox, we'll probably do a lot of like the swapping over the parts here and then bring it all forward. We want to make out front looks very nice. Back here is a bit more busy.
I see. You got all your tires in the back there.
Yeah, so you can go down there. There's tires, things like that. You've also got all the car spares are all in these boxes. Everything's labeled again, you know, we've got like angle grinders, linear, everything's just all packed in. You know, these are all less like a turbo drawer. You've got all the turbo parts in here.
What?
It's all car spares.
Oh my god.
But yeah, we have to take all around the world, and hopefully we remember where it all is. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest thing. We've got a big press as well. If we need a press, we've got a press. Some stuff we don't use very often, some
Yeah.
stuff is all the time. Even these boxes, the Reiko boxes, these are quite nice. For a lot of like the smaller stuff, so like this one, you've got like McLaren fixings. You'll see how many things we have to carry with us, and they're 2D back as well. So you've got like,
Oh, are you serious?
so yeah, it's
Holy
like
cow.
double stack. The other box I think is like most people's favourite is the catering box.
Look at that.
So we've got all the drinks, the driver drink bottles go in there. There's coffee machines, tea urns, microwaves, snacks.
So anybody can just grab whatever they want.
Everyone normally takes what they want. Some people more than others. There's one there right there, yeah. You know, you can tell people who have more than others. How you, through everything, you know, everyone, we're here for like a week at a time, so equally there's like hydration drinks, things like that. With the temperature, we have to keep on it of how much we drink.
And I'm seeing like little tool sets, like there's one there.
Yeah.
And I saw some more over here. I guess those are just for the other technicians here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of the guys bring fly cases like this.
Okay.
Not everyone can bring a big toolbox. So a lot of the guys will bring things like this. So we have our own tools that we can use at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone's got like different flavors.
Sounds like lighting and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh my gosh. So this is yours?
That's mine,
Look
yeah.
at that. That's awesome.
So this box, I've kind of modified it over time. The idea was that I could do this box, but make it fully interchangeable. So if the car changes, I can change what's in it. So most of the stuff is for the car orientated, but equally like if there's something wrong with a fuel rig or a wheel falls off a flight case or something like that, because we do everything, we need a tool for everything. And I mean, a lot of stuff is kind of fairly basic. Like I know we all love to have way too many pairs of pliers, screwdrivers and stuff, so it's like really slipped down. We've got like all my pliers, they're all Nipex. Flush cuts, we use these quite a lot on the cars. We'll cut a tyre wrap very flush, so we don't like catch our fingers on the tyre wrap. Every guy here will have a pair of these.
Okay.
And on that topic, you'll see how like everything's got like a purple band on. So it's like how we all ID our tools. So because a lot of guys have the same or similar tools, and if the car comes in and all our tools are on the car at once, it's basically how we all find our tools again. It makes it super quick for me to pick the tools back up again.
I saw all these boxes all orange.
He's orange.
Yeah.
He's the orange guy, yeah. Like everyone that has a colour.
Yeah, I'm just noticing that this is purple.
Mine
like
was
this.
purple, yeah.
Everything is purple.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I went for purple. One, it was like my little logo, and then two, I didn't think anyone else would go for purple. So it's like, I think a lot of people like orange. Some guys are green. Like, yeah, we've all kind of gone like for different things.
And I love the carbon fiber.
It's cool, yeah. I mean,
so
we're
nice.
not in short supply of carbon fibers. I mean, Ollie's got like a lot of carbon.
Yeah.
But we kind of use what we've got, and carbon fiber is definitely a thing. But these magnets are pretty good. They're the Vim magnets. I think you've seen these before.
Yeah. Those are super strong.
Yeah, and in purple, they're quite cool.
Yeah, that's cool. What are these?
They're little Jubilee drivers. So for Jubilee clips, there's like a 6, 7, and 8 mil. So they're quite good for not over tightening Jubilee clips, things like that. But equally, I've used these on other things as well. Like on certain bolts in the car where you want to bend it, you can get kind of a strange reach on stuff. The only other pliers I've got are these. Ollie might have showed you these, but these are lock wire pliers. I did have some Blue Point ones of these, but they didn't last very well. But these are actually from Japan, the first Japanese tool of your tools in Japan are pretty underrated, to be honest. We all go a bit crazy when we go to Japan. We all spend too much money.
Well, you're headed there next. So.
Yeah, we're there next. So I've taken stuff out so I can buy more stuff. I think everyone's done the same.
Oh,
so.
that's awesome.
Most of this is all sockets. Actually, probably easy to pull the tray out. So I've kept everything in these little trays.
That's nice.
So, I mean, hopefully I don't need all of these at once.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like kind of made it easy to interchange everything. But I've got like little normal socket rails. This one I've relabeled. These are the ulcer rails.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then ratchets, sticking with purple. That was also from Japan. Japanese snap-on is surprisingly cheaper than over here and in the UK.
What?
So we've got to know the Japanese snap-on tool guy who will drive to the circuit now, and we all like raid the snap-on truck.
Gosh, that's so cool.
So I bought this in Japan, probably way cheaper than
What?
US prices. The second one is a little bit different. It's the bit driver snap-on ratchet. Again, not used so much, but it's like for the different tricky places. I work on the cockpit, so I'm inside the car, so there's a lot of like awkward positions to lay in and get to bolts that are like not nice. Probably the most common ratchet I have is just the normal quarter drive snap-on. I've got a bit of a ratchet thing. Martin has as well. But this one, I don't know if you've seen these. This is the Facon.
I have not seen those.
It's a normal ratchet, and then you can twist it both ways and shuttle it the other way. And so obviously, if you're in like a tight spot and it's not super tight, you can turn it both ways and it undoes the bolt. But these are pretty cool.
Wait, so it still acts like a regular ratchet also?
Yeah, so it acts like a normal ratchet.
What?
So you can crack it off like that, and then you can turn it both ways.
That's so cool.
They're pretty cool. They're quite a big head, so
Oh, yeah.
in some ways they don't work, and other ways they do work. This one, I don't know if you've seen these before. This was a bit of an impulse buy. So it's a normal 3/8 ratchet. It's from Japan. It's a vessel ratchet.
Vessel, okay.
Acts as a normal ratchet. To swip the direction, you take the bit out and put it in the other way. But like the party piece is that it's also on like an electric.
Look at that!
So it's like a Milwaukee, but
That's cool.
not of the size of the Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So I use that for removing ballast and things in the car. Again, it was a bit of an impulse buy,
Yeah.
and it has a little USB-C charger in the bottom. The one I probably used quite a lot of is this one. This is another Japanese. It's an Astro product. This is the tool shop that we've all referenced probably too many times. It's aluminium, so super light. It's probably not the nicest ratchet, but it's like
that's a good size.
I use it all the time. It's for a lot of the stuff is quarter drive. We don't really use all the 3/8 stuff.
Okay.
So everything I have is like quarter drive now. To be honest, this set is probably my favorite. The Wera stuff's really good. The bits are like super strong. Bearing in mind, this set's probably like 3-4 years old.
Is it really?
And none of the bits like where
Yeah, those look brand
they
new.
don't chew bolts. It's super nice to use, and like you can carry. I mean, I never have, but you can carry the whole thing on your belt if you want to. Like that whole set will do quite a lot of a race car. And then in here, I've kind of got like various like trinket bits. This was a box that had a Porsche wheel nut in it.
Oh,
So I kind of repurposed that.
it's so cool that you travel around the world and you can buy
Yeah.
tools from everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Japan is definitely the highlight for sure.
Yeah.
This alone, so this is like a little magnet tray.
Okay.
And so if I'm like stripping something down in the car and there's lots and lots of bolts, I can
Oh,
just
that's nice.
put them all in there. That's
Yeah.
quite a nice little thing. I think I ended up buying like 4 of these.
Really?
And it's all really cheap as well. Spanners. I've got the Wera Joker set. They're a little bit different. I looked at the Snap-on set, wasn't too sure. But because they're different, I kind of went for them.
Oh, those do look different.
So they've got like a magnet inside the open end of the spanner, and they've also got like a multi-spline, so you can hook like nuts that you can't always get to. And they're a really nice ratchet. Again, a lot of the Wera stuff's really nice to use. And everything like Wera comes in like really nice cases like this and everything.
Yeah, that's
like
very nice.
it's kind of ideal for what we use it for. Same with the torque wrenches. I was going to go with Snap-on, and in the end I went for the Wera torque wrenches. We all like a good click on a torque
Yeah.
wrench. I don't know if you guys are the same, but
Yeah, absolutely.
we really like the Wera ones. Another tray I've got, this is like another busy tray. This is kind of like the everything else tray. These are like little pouches. I bought these in the US.
Okay.
They're called Maxpedition. And to be honest, they're a bit of a... Once you find the company, you find loads of stuff. US military kind of brand.
Ah, okay.
So everything like goes on a belt, or you can stick it on Velcro, things like that. They're quite a recent addition. That one's kind of like the animal one. So it's got knives and wire brush, scrapers, things like that.
Okay.
So that's a scalpel. I think everyone's got one of those.
Oh, sure,
It's a
yeah.
very well used Milwaukee Stanley knife. These guys are pretty cool. It's another Japanese tool. They're a scraper, so they only have one blade, but you can go around corners with scrapers.
Oh yeah, Ollie had some of those too.
Yeah,
that's
that
so
was
cool.
like another Japanese tool that everyone bought, and there's a bigger one as well. But these are really good for kind of everything, really. Like they're super cheap and really good. And if you break one, you probably just buy a new one. And then this pouch is kind of like all my paint pens. I've got a Loctite in there as well. I've got little magnets on a stick, little ratchet spanners. You'll see like we have lots of tiny spanners on these cars for the little nuts you saw earlier. So these are like little Blue Point ratchet spanners. These are quite cool. Another Japanese tool. So these are like round off. So if I have like a countersunk bolt that's like partially rounded, I can hit these like an impact. So I'll hit that with a hammer and then use a driver, and then they'll just undo
wow.
and they're actually really good. So I've got like a 4 and 5 mil ones of these. I use these on the McLaren under the splitter. So there's bolts that get worn and worn away. So I tap these in and they wind straight out. This is kind of something similar, and these are like for round offs as well. I think Ollie's may have shown you this set, but these are also the same. So again, like to get bolts out is a big thing. This is a little brake vernier. There's a Harbor Freight, so this is an American one.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Do you guys have Harbor Freight in the UK?
No.
Oh, okay.
So when we first came here, we got super excited about Harbor Freight. We've bought a lot of Icon stuff, I think.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think we like Harbor Freight. They're pretty good, really, aren't they? I've got the little Snap-on spanner set. I think a lot of guys have got these. Again, everything's color coded because we've all got the same set.
Okay.
But we do use the 4 mil. Like I don't know how many guys have the set and never use the 4 mil, but we do use the 4 mil. Stubby Allen keys. Every guy's probably got one of these. Again, like a lot of the bolts and stuff on the cars, they're quite awkward to get to, especially inside the cockpit. This socket here is quite an unusual one.
Look at that thing.
So that's a big 18 mil. and I use that for removing ballast. So the super duper ratchet, I put him on the end and it whizzes my nuts out so I can do the ballast change. I might have to remove the ballast quite quickly, so that paired with that was a lot quicker than my spanner. Torches, that's one I'll probably put on my helmet. They actually changed the ruling where we're not allowed to put these on our helmets anymore, but I had like one that just stuck on and energized the batteries. Away we go. Power hand torch, these are pretty good. I know, like, I've got the Harbor Freight one. It's kind of similar.
Looks similar, yeah.
It looks like the same torch. The battery seems to last longer in this one, but it's the same torch. And again, I've got like all these trays.
Yeah, that's nice.
These are Amazon stainless steel. They're like dinner trays. So I've got like several of them, and I can put my tools in and carry out to the car. And then this stuff in the lid will then all pack in these trays. That's quite funny. This is another Japanese tool. So it's a grabber if I drop something. It's got a magnet on the end.
Oh, nice.
It's flexible, and it's even got a torch on the end as well. It's like an all-in-one.
It's got a little lighter there.
If you can't get it with this, you've probably got to take something off. And then probably the last thing is probably like, there's another head torch as well. So it's all rechargeable. I recharge all my torches off of my power bank. I've got like a big power bank on the side.
I was wondering like how you turn the light on.
Yeah, so for the lights, I've got just a big power bank, generic thing. So it's for the lights, for the torches.
Okay, yeah.
So if I don't have a power socket where the box is going to be,
Yeah.
I'm kind of fully sufficient.
Man, thank you so much for showing us all this.
Hey, you're welcome, yeah. A little bit different, but
Yeah, Matty, I really do appreciate it.
that's a pleasure.
Oh
I've
my
enjoyed
gosh,
it.
I love this. So we tracked down Martin. Martin, thank you for
Thank you.
for taking the time. So Martin, you're the what we call it, lead technician?
I'm
or
the chief mechanic
chief
or crew
mechanic?
chief. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for taking the time. And so this is your setup here?
Yeah, this is, well, I just work out a really small case really. I don't do that much on the cars, but I just need the ability to do stuff whenever, and it's 80% of what I need to do.
Really?
Only now and again I'm borrowing someone else's, but yeah.
So what all do you keep up top here? What?
So
Look at that! Oh my god!
It's all, you know, I think really very basic. A set of pliers, block wire pliers, snips, and a knife.
I've never seen Facon. Was it called Facon?
Yeah, I call it Facon, and
Facon, okay.
in England we call it Facon. But
I've never seen pliers from them though.
Normally they have like little red accents, but I like me green, so everything's sort of green color coded for me.
Did you cut all the foam yourself?
Yeah,
you did.
This is literally just some foam we had around. To be able to package just exactly what I wanted was the best way for me to do it. Just cut it out. Some verniers.
Okay.
A number of torches, which this torch is brand new. Just bought this the other day.
Oh, okay.
Whilst been here in America. I'm a big fan. So love the icon stuff.
Icon,
it's
yeah.
really good.
That's good. So do you have like a go-to flashlight?
Well, it always was this one.
Okay. Is that a Coast? Looks like a Coast.
I think it is a Coast, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's been superseded now.
Oh, okay.
So. These are just some easy outs. Not really used much yet, but I certainly have this set at home that are well used. I'm normally the one to deal with problems, so if there's snapped bolts and things like that, rather than the mechanics wasting time, I'll just give it to me, I'll fix it and give it back to them and sort the problems out.
So is that what's in that? It's just
Yeah, just some cobalt drills and
okay.
to sort problems.
That's a nice case. That's cool.
Yeah, so one of the other guys bought a 3D printer earlier this year. And as soon as we saw it, we're like, we need one. And yeah, then you get hooked into printing little bits and bobs and stuff just to make your life easier. You know.
Yeah.
Like this was scattered with all the pens and little tools previously, whereas now I can keep them in a little pot and keeps it much tidier when it's closed up.
You know, wrenches. What brand are those?
These are Blue Point.
Oh, Blue Point, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Snap-on.
Oh yeah.
Always
okay.
have been. And these keys, these are Facon as well, which I've had these probably 20 years and
Really?
just seen so much action. I've got some similar ones at home that are only this long now because you just keep trimming the end and all of a sudden you have a very stubby one.
Yeah.
With set of Snap-on picks.
What? Holy yeah.
Again, all the little greens.
Yeah.
When we are working them all together, the tools can get mixed up so much.
Gotcha.
I
This
just
is
choose to put
amazing.
green
I
on
had
them.
no idea there was another like level
Yeah.
in here.
Just a small little bit set. A lot of these I bought these and replaced because these had like Phillips bits in, but with the little ball ends. I think I bought these in Japan. So useful to get in tight places. I think this is the kit where you can have it as just an extender or passes through, and then it turns into a T key with a bit in the end.
Okay.
So you can, just another Facon set. Very similar, but with the extra sockets and absolute favourite ratchets. I think Matty might have shown it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
And you think it's like a gimmick until you find a real good use for it, and you're like, oh, this is really good actually.
I guess Facon was probably a pretty known brand in UK.
So like at the workshop, we have the Snap-on man come round, and then the Facon guy, it's Mac Tools and Facon in the UK. So
okay.
yeah, I've always had a lot of Facon. I do like it. It's good quality. It's good value. A really old COTA ratchet, which is probably one of the first tools I had. Snap-on again, but very old. With the old spare. It wasn't new it was old when I got it new. So
do you have a go-to ratchet?
Yeah, it's always this one.
Always that one, huh?
Which you have to unpick all this to go to me. But it's good as a kit to just grab, go.
Yeah, a lot easier to travel with something smaller.
Yeah. It won't do everything. I couldn't take an engine out and overhaul it and put it back in, but I could do the vast majority of it with this small kit.
So Mark, how long have you been doing this?
I've been in motorsport 25 plus years.
25 years.
But yeah, doing this role I'm in now, probably last two.
Okay.
Which is a lot more hands-off than I've ever, on the cars particularly. Always been a mechanic. Was a mechanic, my father was a mechanic, and I was always into cars at a young age. You know, the stuff we get to experience around the world and places we go and things we do, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, we love it.
Well, Martin, thank you so much for showing me your setup.
Thank you.
This has just been so cool. I'm hot and it's like really busy here. They're going crazy on the cars. But Freddie here is willing to take some time to show us this box. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. You're welcome.
Yeah, so this is that's the box we went in earlier for that car, and then this one is for this car, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this?
Well, this seemed like this year started early in the season. Yeah, the first race.
So what did you do before this?
Different racing. I've been doing it for about 8-9 years, but I'm self-employed as a lot of the guys are here. So
so you're contracted?
Exactly, yeah, contracted to different races and stuff like that.
You guys look crazy.
Yeah, so we've just got the car back from scrutineering, so we've got a bit of evening prep on. But so this is our box for this car crew. All the contractors have a drawer each with their own trays in, and then Ben, who's the full-timer, all the main tools in the box belong to him. This is all the basic tools that we can kind of share if we need them, because it's like all your sockets, ratchets. To be honest, we don't use a lot of this because we've all got our own little bits which are like precise for the car, and you know exactly, like you don't need a whole pile of tools to do the stuff we do on a weekend.
Do you know what brand is this?
This is like the Halfords Advanced stuff, which is
Halfords Advanced.
The Halfords Advanced. Do you have this over here? Halfords?
No, what is that?
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Is that like
it's like a car? Yeah, it's like an auto shop, like a car shop. They sell like everything from like tuning parts to like screen wash, like everything.
Oh, okay.
And they do tools which are actually pretty good for like a basic tool set. They're kind of cheap and they're really good quality. They've got a long guarantee and they're good.
Oh, there's a bunch of ratchets over there too, huh?
Yeah. Again, they're probably not being used that much because
they all look the same. Yeah. What's that?
Few spare bits of the car. This is a lance for the car, like a spare. Obviously, whenever you're lifting the car up and down in the garage or outside, you've got the air jack system in the car which runs all the way around. This just goes on the end of here, and then that's how you raise the car up and down in the garage, and out in the pit lane, the same thing. In here again, this is more Ben's tools. Load of spanners, metric, imperial. There's not a lot of imperial stuff on the car, so we don't really use them too much.
Okay. Do you know what brand these are?
I think this is the same stuff. Yeah, this is all that Halfords Advanced. So, because you can buy a big kit and it will give you everything you can need from them for not a lot of money. It's not like buying Snap-on and things where it can get really expensive, really quickly, as you're probably aware. Yeah.
I like that they come in the foam.
Yeah, exactly. This is really nice. You don't have to make anything. This is all just out the factory, so that's really nice.
So you guys have a lot of the AN?
Yeah, all oil fittings and stuff on the car. A lot of them, radiators, oil rads. A lot of these, because you don't really want to be using anything else on it. That's the proper. It's quite easy to strip a thread on like the aluminium, so they're the proper tool for it. This is my little tray. Same thing as the other lads. If you need
this is yours. Okay.
Yeah, so this is mine here.
Sure.
Super handy to be able to have in the tray, and when you're working around the car, other than having to grab this tool, that tool, you can just kind of go to the corner. You've got all your bits there.
So it looks like you have a lot of Snap-on.
Yeah, I guess you've built it up over the years, because it can. I mean, there's even in a small tray like this, there's a lot of money's worth of tools because it gets very expensive. But got some nice, neat little screwdrivers in here. It's all a lot of really small stuff, like mostly quarter drive sockets. There's no big screwdrivers, pliers, because really working on these
it's a lot of, it's quite intricate. If you're in the cockpit, everything's quite small. So these, I really like these. These are like the screwdriver size, but it's like the O-ring.
Oh yeah.
So it's got a nice soft end on it. If you're popping O-rings out of, say, like a brake caliper or something, that's a real nice tool to not cause any damage.
So do you have like a component on this car that you're the go-to guy for?
Well, not really, because everyone kind of does everything.
I see. Okay.
And yeah, on a normal kind of service, there'll be maybe 2 of us on the back, 2 on the front. Matty likes doing the cockpit stuff. And then it does make it easier if everyone does the same thing, because you can get an evening prep and everyone goes, right, you do this, you do this. But a lot of the time, there's different jobs that come up, and there might be 4 jobs to do on the back end, nothing on the front end. So everyone, we do all kind of just muck in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What is this?
So what the car's on here?
Yeah, what is
this?
That?
Is like, so this is the flat patch, the 4 corners here. You lay these kind of 3-legged plates out.
Okay.
And you laser this and you set this dead flat on the ground, because obviously the garage floor is flat, but it's not dead flat. So if you're trying to, like we set up in the evenings, so we've got our corner weight scales on here, which you probably shouldn't look too closely at with the camera, but it's okay. It's all right. No, it's nice to see. But so we put these setup wheels on, which are basically simulate like the car being on its wheel. But
get a little bit closer.
Yeah, you can come and look at these. And then so this is dead flat, this pad here.
Okay.
You put this setup wheel on, and there's rolling wheels on here, so it can find its level on here.
So the only reason this is here is to make it flat?
Make it dead flat, exactly. No other reason. Yeah. And the balls in here have a load cell in, so they will weigh the car. We'll take a weight from each corner, so you can split the corner weights evenly, find out your weight distribution. You can also do your toes. These you set a distance to the axle width, and then it will laser to the front and the rear of the car, and it will show your toe up on here. So you don't have to use strings when you're setting a wheel alignment. Your camber is done through this little block here, which will, you drop down on the patch and it sends it instantly to the screen, so you don't have to put a gauge on or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It'll show you position of the car. So it makes doing like your evening setup really quick, because it kind of shows you all the numbers on the screen.
Going down.
Right, yeah, I couldn't see it. Yeah, you're right.
Holy crap, when it started rolling,
Oh, you don't roll off.
my heart skipped.
So you have these you put these little skid plates in once we're down,
I see, okay.
and then the car will sit right in the middle. It needs to be able to move a little bit, but
I see.
yeah, then you're at the car.
Jeez, that thing really moves easy, huh?
Yeah.
Whoa.
For a big car.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you've probably never had one of these on Toolbox
No.
tools. I think. Probably the most used tool in the Toolbox.
Yeah.
Cutting cable ties is like half the job. And then this just fits so nicely in there that I don't even use the bit driver set that much. It's good for pedal boxes and things like that, and small bodywork bolts that you can't get at. But
So you have another set of tools at home, I guess?
yeah, I've got like a toolbox set at home.
Oh,
yeah,
you do?
but
Okay.
for just going to race meetings like this, this is kind of, you got to think about. Luckily, this and the other racing I do, like with the LMP2 car in Europe, it's all a lot of the same tools. 10mm, 12mm Allen bolts, not a lot of Imperial. So I can kind of use the same tray for 2 different cars, and it works quite nicely. So this is Ben's actual own jaw. So the Toolbox is his, but this is his own tools. He's fitted very nicely into this little phone.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of you can tell this is nice jaw because this is where he hides all his snap-on, so no one else uses it.
What you know what brand those?
I don't think they're snap-on. Oh, the Star Wheel. They're actually really good spanners. Yeah. And then same with a lot of the guys. There's a lot of pit stop equipment in there, as well as tools. Your earphones, your mic, your gloves. Like that's a big part of it. Not just working on the cars. So looks like some grips and pliers.
Pliers, okay.
Very nicely carved in. The Carbon Nath has his all his tools in here for doing bodywork.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yeah. The full Milwaukee set. All for sawing all his carbon out.
So he does a lot of the body.
Yeah, he's basically got a tent kind of out in the back car park, and he does all, whenever there's damage to any bodywork, we'll say take a rear bumper off, bring it out to him.
Oh, okay.
He'll chop it up, make new out of what he can, and he's very handy.
So Milwaukee's big in the UK too?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because American brand, right?
Yeah.
Really big in the UK for that sort of thing. Probably the best. Yeah.
That's cool.
This is a lot of spares for the car. Anything you might need. We have a lot of spares out the back as well, but there's things like this is for your roll bar. Like if you're on the setup patch and you need to change something quickly, then he's got a lot of nice spares sorted out here. dyno label maker, that's a must-have. So yeah, so like all the parts on the car are all like mileage pretty well, because obviously when they get towards the end of their life, you need to start changing them, and you can maybe keep them for testing, but when you're racing on the track, you need all your best parts on the car. So everything is stickered with the dyno label. You put a part number on it, and then they keep track of that. Chief Mechanical log it away, and so it's an easy way of tracking it. Everything is always labelled, and it makes it easier than kind of having bare parts and thinking, how long has this been on the car, or is this due to be changed yet? Another absolute must-have. I'm not sure if Matty's gone into Loctite, but Loctite's used pretty much all over the car. A lot of the blue stuff, your 243 is like just the standard kind of medium strength, because the race cars will like vibrate themselves into oblivion on the track when they're bumping up and down. Like it bolts are coming loose the whole time. So most things are blue Loctite. If they're still coming loose like that, then you can green Loctite them. And then there's high temp stuff, and there's some more niche applications if you need it.
Gotcha.
But we use a lot of that.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
No, I mean, it's okay now. We're obviously waiting for, I think they're waiting for some setup to, once we've measured the whole car, then you kind of send the setup electronically to the engineers, and they'll be looking at it and saying if they want to change anything. That will come back to the laptop, and then, so normally there's a brief kind of break in the work whilst you're waiting for that, and then you can crack on and set the car up for how they want it for the race.
Well, Freddie, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I really do appreciate it. I know it's not your box, but
Yeah, it's okay. You kind
it was awesome
wing
to see
through
it. Matt, thank you so much for showing us the draw. I do have one last question though.
Yeah, sure.
Just because you know the WEC has the 24-hour Lons. How does that work? Like, do you have like shifts that you take for different teams? You have more people on?
Yeah, I mean, if only. Us guys will do the whole thing. So most people think, oh, that must be hard. You guys are awake for 24 hours. But in reality, it's probably closer to 40 to 50 hours if we complete the whole race.
Crap.
Realistically, like at Le Mans, for instance, they'll have a warm-up session at around sort of like early to mid-morning, 7 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So we'll get there at minimum 2 hours before that session. So it's a mega early start. The race then won't start until 3 in the afternoon. Then you've got 24 hours until 3 in the afternoon the next day. And then you'll also then do some of the packing away right after the race. If you're lucky enough for the cars in scrutineering, I mean, you're there for a couple of hours like you've seen today. Like we'll lose the car for 3 hours sometimes. And we'll also do like some of the stuff, like the outside stuff, we'll bring it in the garage, make a start. So we'll probably, hopefully it's around 40 something hours, get some rest, come back in the next day, and then it's going to be another 12, 18 hour day packing everything down. It's just like a big circus.
You guys take like power naps or anything? Like
you grab what you can, but it's not much.
Oh my god.
With some cars, it's all about your fuel tank size. So these will do just under an hour on a stint.
Okay.
So by the time you've shut your eyes, maybe you'll get a little bit. The prototype cars, the fuel tanks are a bit smaller. So on an LMP2 car, they'll only run for around 25 minutes before they're coming in for fuel again.
Oh my god.
So you're constantly awake. It's a bit of a grueler, if you like. You've got to be a little bit crazy to do it.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, thank you so much for everything. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome, man.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Thank you
mega,
again.
man.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a long and hot day here in Texas, but well worth it. I'm so happy they invited me out here. This team is just nothing short of amazing. They've got such an amazing crew here. This couldn't have gone any better. I hope this comes across in the video of how awesome this team is. But as always, if you guys have a box you'd like to have featured on the channel, hit me up on Instagram or just send me an email. Till the next one, we'll see you.